welcome back. Happy 2023. So anyways, we're going to start making some jewelry here. I had bought these little template. I mean, I don't even know if you want what you want to call them. I'll have it all linked down below and everything. But they were like these. I just thought, oh, you know what? I could put a little bit of UV resin with some glitter in there and make these little studs, you know. And so I was searching for some jewelry. I was going to make some stuff for Christmas for my family and some friends and stuff. And so I kind of do this every year. I kind of make a bunch of little things, and then I can give them to teachers or whatever. So anyways, I found these little studs and I put them in just a dry erase, sponge, which I think if you had some styrofoam or an actual sponge or something like that, I thought this would be the best thing in the moment. And I was like, that was what came to mind. But you need something that's kind of flat, level, that kind of, where it's not going to be wobbly, which is, I put the one silver one in, and the way I put it in, it was kind of wobbly. So just make sure it's somewhat leveled. I mean, you don't need to like make sure that it's level, but just so that it doesn't, tilt over and spill out or whatever. So, I did just put a tiny bit of the UV resin in the bottom of this little cup here and mixed it in with the glitter, because I just think a tiny bit is better than putting too much, just in case if you're just doing these little earrings, you don't want to waste too much of that UV resin. So I just did as little as possible. And then, you can always add a little bit more if you need to. And you don't want to overfill these. And I have sped this up quite a bit. So you want to be very careful, slow, and meticulous about how you put that UV resin in there, so you're not getting it over the edges or making it too full to where it's going to spill out. And then I just stuck that sponge right up underneath that UV lamp there and put it on for 60 seconds. Now, I usually do it for about 3 rounds of 60 seconds, but it just depends on how it feels or how it looks whenever I get done with the first round. I'll put it in for another round, and if that doesn't work, I'll put it in for another round. I even sometimes will take them outside, because the sun UV is the best of the best. So, it just depends on what you have available. And this particular lamp is very strong, and it's a little bit hotter, and it has a much bigger ray than the other one that I had before. So I had that little cup sitting in front of the lamp, and it was starting to cure the cup just from that little bit of light that was shining from there. So what I end up doing is turning it around and making sure that all the light is kind of going that way. So that way I can work on something else at the same time. So I found these lockets, or not lockets, just little, I don't remember what I called them, but I was looking at all kinds of different jewelries at this, at the stage that I was doing all of this stuff. And I thought, oh, that'll be cool. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. I was just kind of shopping around on Amazon just to see what was available. And I found these, and I thought, oh, that would be really neat to be able to put some kind of glitter, epoxy, even a vinyl, which you'll see here in a minute, that I actually cut out a piece of vinyl and use it on one of these. But they just come, and they were just like a handful, like a bag full of all these different styles and different golds and antique looking gold and silver and stuff like that. So after I let it run for maybe 3 or 4 times underneath that lamp, I went ahead and put just a little bit of UV resin on top of that, just to cover it up and make it really shiny. There's very, very minimal amount that you're going to be using. I would be very careful in using very little and then going from there. This is Audrey from Peachy Olive Glitters, and it's just a gorgeous kind of like that Tiffany blue, hence the name Audrey kind of thing. Anyways, I really thought that it was going to be a pretty glitter for gold and silver, and so that's why I picked it. And while I'm trying to decide on which pendant here, this little piece here, this silicone piece that I got, I was actually making all these different earrings, and you'll see some of them at the end of the video that I show, but I made some of these little dots, and I didn't end up using them in some earrings for like the top part of the earring. I just thought they were too big. So I ended up looking at these pendants, and I was kind of like, oh, you know what I could probably do is put one of those inside of that pendant instead of filling it up, making maybe look at like a stone or something like that. So I really like the way that just kind of like it's kind of bulging out, looks like more of like a stone than just something that you would have just set inside, or, you know, just some epoxy. But anyways, I just thought it was kind of cool. It's just a different way to look at things and to see, you know, how you can kind of make things look as far as like the silver piece there. I put an extra coat of UV resin on top of those after I got them cured, put a little bit of flame on them. I was afraid to use the flame on the sponge, so I didn't do it on them, but I didn't try it, so I don't know. But just be careful, because I just wasn't sure if that thing was flammable or whatnot. So anyways, this is another piece that it was in that collection of pendants that I got. And it was just a little circle. And so I measured the circle, and it was 1 inch. And so I thought, okay, I'll just get my little hole punch, my little punch, you know, thing out, and I'll just punch this, you know, one little in 1 inch piece of this vinyl. And the reason I picked this vinyl was because it was kind of like this rustic turquoise, and I thought that it would look really cool underneath this magnifying glass that these come with. And so I just put a little bit of UV resin on there, and then I set this on here. And you want to be real careful when you set it on there, because you want to make sure that you're kind of setting it on there straight down so that the bubbles and all that just kind of go out to the side. And then you stick it underneath the UV resin, and under the UV lamp, and boom, it's cured in a second. And you have something that looks really cool, and something that you know, looks like you spent a lot of time trying to get stones for and stuff like that. So I was showing here that I made these stickers for the bottom of these cards that I got off of Amazon. You can also cut these on your Cricut. I just did not feel like doing that because I had so many, and the last time I did it, it just took forever, and my Cricut just... Anyways, so I found this pack that was decently priced on Amazon, and I thought it comes with a ton of them, so I'll have them forever. But anyways, I printed the stickers off myself, and then I used that little cutter thing to show you that you could either keep them the square, or you could kind of trim them off on the sides, on the corners there, just to make it look a little more professional if you wanted to do that. I did buy these black cords that are just fairly cheap. They come in like a pack of 100, and it's not necessarily probably something that I would have chosen to put with this type of pendant, but I thought in the ease of just kind of adding it to the card there, that it's not that big of a deal. Like if someone actually wanted to wear it with another type of necklace, or if you wanted to spend a little bit more money and get a silver or a gold chain and that kind of thing, you would have to add more money in order to sell this. But this would give them the idea that they could, you know, they can get it like this, sell them for Valentine's, put them on the table whenever you go to your little shops or something. Your shows or something like that, and you can sell these for, you know, quite a decent little price, and something that's not too expensive, but and it's fairly easy to make. The chain and the piece that you know, clasp the lobster claw or whatever that clasps is a little bit too big for the eyelet of these last two. So I ended up using these rings, these jump rings, in order to attach them to the necklace. And as you can see there, I just used a little bit of tape on the back to kind of hold in the chain, the rest of that cord there. And I just really love the simplicity of these, but then yet it is They are very unique, very sparkly, something you could throw in some bags, some grab bags, or just like your teacher or, you know, your mail person or whoever it is that you want to thank and say, you know, I think you deserve this. This is something that's, I mean, it's super easy. I literally filmed doing those 3 in 30 minutes. I cut the video down and sped it up in places, but I did it in 30 minutes. Now, these other ones, I had done some different, you know, beads and things to apply them to the pendants, and then done the earrings separately. But anyways, I really enjoyed this little project, and I wanted to bring y'all something. The new year is going to be here. It's just very quick for me, and I wasn't really ready for with a tumbler, but I wanted to show you something that would be nice for maybe Valentine's or Mother's Day, and you could throw some of these together. So anyways, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.